Hello students, so we shall discuss remaining questions. Let's start the question number 20. The question is, the monochloroisomer that predominates in the mixture resulting from the free radical chlorination of 1-pentene. So they have taken the 1-pentene. I'll write the molecule first. This is 1-pentene. So it has been subjected with the chlorine in the presence of the sunlight. So they are expecting the free radical chlorination reaction. So free radical chlorination reaction never happens on the double bonded carbon atoms or triple bonded carbon atoms. It happens only on the saturated carbon atoms. So here three types of saturated carbon atoms are there. Now let's try to assign the numbers. This is the primary, this is secondary A, this is secondary B. So among all these carbon atoms, this particular carbon atom is an allylic carbon atom. Allylic, that to secondary allylic carbon atom, which is more stable. So hence chlorination, free radical chlorination preferably happens over this particular carbon, as allylic, secondary allylic free radical is more stable. So that the molecule is CH2 double bond CH, CHCl, CH2 and CH3. So this is the major compound. So among all these compounds, so over the allylic carbon, chlorine is there. So option C is correct. Let's try to solve the question number 21. Which of the following reaction is most exothermic in nature? So here we'll write certain things, that is chlorination is an exothermic reaction and bromination is an endothermic reaction. So they are asking about only exothermic reaction, hence both of these bromination reactions are ruled out, option B and option D. We have to think about only chlorination reaction. So in this particular chlorination reactions, why amount of energy is released means the formation of HCl is an exothermic process. The formation of HCl is an exothermic process. Now you can see two molecules they have taken, propane molecule and isobutane molecule. So I'll take both of these molecules. Propane molecule we shall take first. In this primary and secondary carbon hydrogen bonds are there. So it has been subjected with the chlorine in the presence of the sunlight. So we can expect the two products over here, that is CH3, CHCl, CH3, which is called as a 2-chloropropane plus CH3, CH2, CH2Cl, which is a 1-chloropropane along with the HCl. And since the formation of HCl is an exothermic reaction, so delta H is negative in this reaction. The amount of energy released in any particular chemical reaction is the net amount of energy absorbed and released. See here, to substitute one chlorine here, we need to break the carbon hydrogen bond, and here also we need to break the carbon hydrogen bond to get this molecule. So to break these bonds, we need to provide some amount of energy, which is called the bond energy. So here we have to provide the energy. Here this releases some amount of energy. So the net amount of energy is the energy of the enthalpy of the reaction. So I will take one example here, only for example purpose I am considering. You do not consider these are the real values. See here, I would like to break this secondary carbon hydrogen bond, which needs 10 kilojoules of energy. Okay, and formation of HCl, imagine is a 20 kilojoules of energy. So total amount of energy released in this particular process is, here amount of energy is absorbed, here this much amount of energy HCl is about to release. So out of 20 kilojoules of energy, 10 kilojoules of energy has been absorbed here, utilized. So rest of the energy will be released, that is minus 10 kilojoules of energy. In the carbon-hydrogen bond, primary carbon-hydrogen bond, which is a stable bond compared to the secondary carbon-hydrogen bond, so it may need still more amount of energy, 15 kilojoules of energy, just imagine. So in such cases, how much amount of energy we can expect? Only 5 kilojoules of energy will be released, net amount of energy released. So the net amount of energy released in a particular process depends on the amount of energy absorbed and released together, total enthalpy of the reaction. Now let us take the option C also. So in option C, they have taken the isobutane. This is isobutane. So in this isobutane, when you subject it with the chlorine and HNO, these are the primary hydrogens, carbon hydrogens, and these are tertiary carbon hydrogen bond. So tertiary carbon hydrogen bond is a very weak bond, because after breaking of this bond we get the stable tertiary free radical. Hence in this particular case, imagine the amount of energy required to break this particular bond is just 5 kilojoules of energy. Then how much amount of energy you can expect in this process? Because here also, after the removal of this hydrogen, we get two different molecules, but I am going to write down only one molecule here. Even if you want the second molecule, CH, CH2Cl and CH3 plus HCl. So here also HCl is formed. Formation of HCl, what we expected, 20 kilojoules of energy. Here 5 kilojoules of energy is absorbed. So remaining energy will be released, that is 15 kilojoules of energy is released. So in which reaction more amount of energy will be released? When isobutane is used. So it is very clear that the reaction in which there is going to produce the more stable product, there more amount of energy will be released. Hence option C is correct. Now let's try to solve the question number 22. Which radical is responsible for the observed selectivity in the chain reaction below? So here basically this product is wrong here, but rest everything is correct. So here chlorine bromine combination is used. So chlorine bromine combination in the presence of HNO undergo homolytic cleavage and expecting two radicals, both the chlorine radical as well as the bromine radical. But we know that reactivity of the chlorine is more, selectivity is less. So that is the reason why we are getting both of these molecules, and here almost 98% is molecule we are getting. But in this case they are asking observed selectivity means which radical is responsible. Basically bromine radical is less reactive, that is the reason why though the second radical is formed, immediately chlorine goes and reacts there. So option B is correct. 23. So now in this 23 I will write once again here. What is the most likely product of the following reaction? It is simple thing that whenever free radical reactions are happening, so in free radical reactions, chlorine in the presence of sunlight, the halogenation happens only on the stable radicals. This is the primary, this is secondary A, this is secondary B. Moreover, this is not only secondary B but secondary benzylic radical, which is more stable. Hence, halogenation happens over the benzylic carbon and gives this particular product. So option D is correct. Whenever you want, just you pause the video and you can check once again. 24. Which of the following reaction will fail to give the expected product? Very simple, among all these reactions, the only thing different is this one. See, In this particular reaction, chlorine is there as well as the OH group is there. When sodium is there in the reaction, sodium preferably reacts with the OH group, not with the chlorine, because here sodium has to break this particular covalent bond. But in this case, oxygen-hydrogen bond is so weak because of the difference in electronegativity, and hydrogen can easily come out, so that sodium preferably reacts with the OH group and giving this particular substituent product instead of the required product. So this reaction fails to give the original product, as well as this product is also wrong, but they have given like that. But option is B. Here you correct it. 25. Which of the following is the best way of synthesizing the cyclohexane? Cyclohexane. So here actually two more reactions are there in the given whatever. So here two more products are there. C is, take the cyclohexane, iodine heat, sodium dry ether. Option D is cyclohexane, chlorine sunlight, dicyclohexyl copper lithium or lithium dicyclohexyl Gilman's reagent copper. So among all these, iodination reaction is ruled out because it's slow reaction. Bromination reaction is also ruled out. Why? Because bromine, iodine both are less reactive than the chlorine. So we can prefer A and D. But in this particular case, if you take the D, first of all I will discuss about the D compound. So initially cyclohexane reacts with the chlorine in the presence of the sunlight, as it gives chlorocyclohexane, and it's subjected with the lithium dialkyl cuprate, dicyclohexyl cuprate. Here it forms the negative ion, negative charge. This negative charge has to come over, attack over this particular carbon to replace the chlorine, so that we can get this product. Cyclohexane. But this is a larger carbon ion, so attacking of the larger carbon ion over the another larger molecule is a difficult task. So that is the reason why, though this reaction is possible, but actually yield will be very less. So that's why the only preference is chlorine. So this reaction happens initially because starting reaction is same in both the cases. So chlorocyclohexane reacts with the 2 moles of the sodium Here no attacking groups are there, just replacement of these chlorines by the sodium, so that we get the cyclohexane. So option A is correct. Now let us solve the question number 26. Which of the best way of preparing the propane from chloroethene? So chloroethene is there as well as the propane is there. So here 4 options are given. I will write down those 4 options. So these are the 4 options. In these 4 options, one common thing is there. CH2 CHCl, CH2 double bond CHCl, CH2 double bond CHCl. One common thing is there. So let us discuss about this molecule speciality. This is called as the vinyl chloride, in which there is a lone pair of electrons on each one chlorine atom. So these chlorine lone pair of electrons undergo resonance with the double bonded electrons, pi bond electrons, so that they produce this type of the resonance structure, in which chlorine is getting the double bond character. So it becomes very difficult to break this particular double bonded chlorine atom. Hence these 3 molecules do not participate in the reaction. Now come to the option C, in which here they had given the wrong. You just cancel this particular chlorine. So Gilman's reagent, we know that the carbon is always in the negative charge, so it attacks over this carbon, replaces the chlorine and giving the CH3 CH double bond CH2, that they are asking the propene molecule. So this is the propene molecule, hence option C is correct. I'll erase this one. Now let us see the question number 27. So in question number 27, which of the following would not form upon electrolysis of aqueous solution of potassium propionate? So in this potassium propionate, electrolysis means it is a coal-based reaction. So we shall discuss certain things about the coal-based electrolysis. That time we did not discuss the mechanism. So in this coal-based electrolysis process, here they had given the potassium propionate, C2H5COOK. This is the potassium propionate. It dissociates into C2H5COO minus plus K plus. So this C2H5CO minus means propionate ion actually participate in two different reactions. This entire reaction takes place at anode. At anode means oxidation reaction takes place. So here it may dissociate into the ethyl radical plus carbon dioxide. Now this ethyl radical procedure is different again. So this ethyl radical, if it combines with another ethyl radical, we get the C2H5 and C2H5, which is called as the butane. And second one is, if this ethyl radical undergoes reduction in the sense if it gets any hydrogen, so it forms C2H6, which is called as ethane. If it undergoes oxidation, you may ask the question, sir, here anode, here how the reduction takes place. No, chances we are discussing. So if here it lost the hydrogen, then it will form the C2H4, which is called as ethene. Next, this particular propionate ion, if undergo oxidation, so this oxidation reaction actually happens at the anode. Before this oxidation reaction happens, remaining reactions takes place on their own. So it forms C2H5COO radical plus 1 electron. So it will lose 1 electron. So radical is formed. This radical, if it reacts with the ethyl radical, that actually formed. So we get the C2H5COO C2H5. This is called as the ethyl propionate. So these are the molecules which we are going to get. So butane will get, ethyl propionate will get, ethene will get, ethyl ethanoate will not get. So they are asking which of the following would not form. So ethyl ethanoate will not form. So option B is correct. Now let us solve the question number 28. Arrange the following carboxylic acid in increasing order of reactivity towards thermal decarboxylation reaction. So thermal decarboxylation, simply decarboxylation, loss of CO2 is called as a decarboxylation reaction. So this decarboxylation reaction will be more effective if electron withdrawing groups are there. If strong electron withdrawing group is there, means loss of carbon dioxide becomes easy. So among all these, here 2 electron withdrawing groups are there, this one, so that it can lose the carbon dioxide very easily. So third one preferably loses carbon dioxide. Next, come and see these two. So in these two cases, NO2 group is close to this COOH, so that it comes to the second. Next, fluorine and this keto group, but the keto group is so strong than the fluorine, because fluorine withdraws the electrons only through minus I effect, but it is through the minus M also. So here fourth one, and last one is 1. Now what they are asking, increasing order. We have done decreasing order. So that increasing order means 1 is less, 4 is less, 2 is less, and 3. So this is the correct order. 1, 4, 2, 3. Option C is correct. Let's see the 29th question. The compressed gas available in cooking cylinder is a mixture of, it is simple, LPG gas, liquid petroleum gas, that is mixture of the ethane, propane, butane, all will be there. So that option D is correct. So directly let's go to the 30th question. By which reaction a mixture of methyl iodide and ethyl iodide gives? Generally, when you are taking the means two different alkyl halides, you will get the mixture of the products. So option D is correct here. So now let us see the 31 question. Select the correct statement about alkanes. Alkanes are polar in nature. Incorrect, because they are non-polar. Alkanes are soluble in water. No, they are non-soluble in the water. They are non-combustible. No, actually they are combustible, because they undergo combustion and give the carbon dioxide and water. Oxidation reaction we discussed yesterday. Their dipole moment is 0. It is true, because they are non-polar, no, so that their dipole moment value is 0. And 32, reaction of ROH Grignard reagent produce. We have already clearly discussed that alcohol, when subjected with the Grignard reagent, it forms alkane because hydrogen is available. So these two combines. Alkyl part is always from the Grignard reagent, so that we get the R-H. Hence option B is correct. 33. It is necessary to use dash in the iodination of alkanes. Generally, we use the oxidizing agent in the iodination of alkanes. I'll take a simple example. Methane you take and subject it to the iodine in the presence of the heating process. So what we expect is a methyl iodide plus HI. But once HI is there, it will facilitate the reaction towards this side. So it becomes a reversible reaction. To avoid this reversible reaction, we use the HNO3 as an oxidizing agent. It reacts with the HI and removes the HI as HiO3. So that's why it becomes only unidirectional reaction, not the bidirectional reaction. So that it is option B is correct. Oxidizing agents we use. Now let us see the question number 36, which is having the options other side of the page also. The reaction condition leading to the best yield of C2H5Cl are: alkane excess chlorine limited amount always gives the best product. If chlorine is in excess, no, here this is not possible. Why? Because chlorine is a dark condition, chlorination reaction not happens. B is ruled out. So let us see the C and D also. If chlorine is present in the excess, so that this chlorine will replace all the hydrogens of the ethane and will get the perchloroethane, so that reaction is ruled out. And if 1:1 ratio also there, then there are chances for the chlorine to remove all the hydrogens of the ethane. So that is the reason why this reaction is also ruled out. So for the best yield of the product, always we have to prefer to take the alkane in excess and chlorine in limited amount. So now let us see the question number 35. A mixture of CS2 and H2S on passing over heated copper gives. It's simple reaction, no much chemistry is required. Just balance the reaction, because based on these particular products, you see ethane, propane, complex mixture, methane is there. CS2 is having only one carbon. So this sulfur combines with this sulfur, and this 4 hydrogen combine with the carbon and giving the methane. So option A is correct. 36. The organic reaction product from the reaction of methyl magnesium bromide and ethyl alcohol is. So methyl magnesium bromide, they said, Grignard reagent plus ethyl alcohol C2H5OH. So this methyl magnesium methyl part combines with the hydrogen and gives methane. So option A is correct. Next, 37. For the preparation of alkanes, concentrated solution of sodium and potassium salt of saturated acid is subjected to. Means saturated acid means they are taking the carboxylic acid salt and they want to get the alkane. So then which process it is possible? It is just electrolysis process, coal-based electrolysis process. Option D is correct. 38. The gas supplied in the cylinder for cooking is, it is a mixture of ethane, propane, all these gases. So that option D is correct. LPG is the full form, liquid petroleum gas, but not the compound. So for this, option D is correct. And let's go with the 39, in which the thermal decomposition of alkanes is known as cracking. So you take any alkane. So alkane, when it is heated to the Cr2O3, 1 minute, Cr2O3 and Al2O3, this is called as the dehydrogenating agents, and if you heat this one to the almost 700 degrees centigrade, you will get the lower alkanes plus alkenes plus cycloalkanes. Cracking, in this sense, it is a heating of the alkanes in the absence of oxygen. If you use the oxygen, then it is called the combustion. Okay, I will take one particular two examples, then you will understand how to write down the products. I will take the CH3, CH2, CH3, which is a propane. Subject it to the cracking process, just means heat it to the highest temperatures. So this highest possible temperature breaks the bond. That bond may be between two carbon atoms or between the two carbon and hydrogen atoms also. Any bond can be broken. If imagine that this carbon hydrogen bonds are broken. The bonds are like this. If these are broken, double bond will be formed. So that is alkene. Plus, if this bond is broken, then here you will get the one ethane molecule plus this becomes the methane molecule. And after breaking of this bond, if the hydrogen means carbon hydrogen bonds are broken here, then you will get the ethene molecule plus methane molecule anyhow I have written. If this hydrogen and this hydrogen are broken, you will get the cycloalkane molecule. So n number of possibilities are there. That's why in cracking we get the mixture of the compounds. Okay, now let us see the 40th question. First of all, let me erase this one. Question number 40. Which of the following is not prepared by coal-based electrolysis? In coal-based electrolysis, we prepare the alkanes with even number of the carbons, not with the odd number of carbons. So that A is not preferred, but remaining are preferred. So option A is correct. And 41. When N-hexane is passed over the Cr2O3, Al2O3 at 600 degrees centigrade, dash is formed. It is very simple reaction that N-hexane, Cr2O3, Al2O3, 600 degrees centigrade. Then there are many chances that it may break any of these hydrogen bonds, even carbon-carbon bonds, but preferably it breaks the carbon-hydrogen bonds like this. We get benzene. So that option C is correct. 42. Octane number of a fuel can be increased by isomerization. Isomerization means you take the normal straight chain alkanes and subject with the AlCl3. This reaction we have discussed already in reaction mechanism, just to check it. So when AlCl3 is added, we get the branched chain alkanes. So when branched chain alkanes are used, they act as the anti-knocking agents and they increase the quality of the petrol. So isomerization is correct option. Let's take the 43. So in 43, which of the following compounds has been given an octane number of 100? This was discussed. Isooctane has the octane number of 100 and heptane is having the 0. So option B is correct. The number of different substitution products possible when bromine and ethane are allowed to react. See here, hint is completely given. So that based on this hint, I am going to write down the products. So 44th question. You just take the ethane molecule and subject with the chlorine, so that in the presence of HNO, so all possibility you have to see. One mono substituted product is possible, means any of these hydrogens you replace with the chlorine, so that you will get the one product. Two disubstituted products. Disubstitute means if two of the hydrogens are replaced, so you will get the two products. So in that cases, two hydrogens can be from the same carbon or from the different carbons. If from the same carbon, we get this molecule. If from the different carbon, we get this molecule. So two products and two trisubstituted products. So trisubstituted products means it is obtained by replacing of the three hydrogens. So in that three hydrogens, 3 hydrogens may be from the same carbon, or 2 from the one and 1 from the another carbon. So let's try to write down that product. So first of all, replace all the hydrogens from the same carbon. In the next product, you replace one hydrogen from the one carbon and rest of the 2 from the remaining carbon atom, so that you will get the 2 products. 1 penta-substituted product, 2 tetra-substituted products. Tetra-substitute means 4. 4 in the sense again 3 from 1 and 1 from here. So that it will be 4, or 2 here, 2 here. So like that you will get the product CHCl2, CHCl2, or else CHCl, CH2Cl and CCl3. This is tetra-substituted product. And next one is 1 penta-substituted product. Out of 6, if 5 hydrogens are replaced, then it will be called as the penta-substituted product. And 1 hexa-substituted product means if all hydrogens are replaced. So CCl3, CCl3. How many products we got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 products we got. So option D is correct. 45. The reagents and conditions to convert the methyl iodide to the methane is. So in this particular content, we have to convert the methyl iodide to the methane. So what reagents they had given? Let's try to discuss about each and every of these reagents. First of all, this methyl iodide is subjected with the Ag2O. If Ag2O is used, then we get the dimethyl ether. This reaction we will learn in the preparation of the ethers. And KCN is used and followed by reflection with KHCl, that is not required, KCN. So that cyanide replaces the iodine, so that you will get the CH3Cl. And next one is aqueous NaOH is used. So NaOH means it simply SN2 reaction takes place, so that it becomes the methyl alcohol. And magnesium dry ether, so that if you use the magnesium and dry ether, so alkyl halide with magnesium dry ether means we get the methyl magnesium iodide, which is a Grignard reagent. So this Grignard reagent is subjected with the water. Water is a compound that gives the hydrogen to this methyl carbon. So finally we get the methane. So option D is correct. Let us see the question number 46. A gaseous hydrocarbon X on reaction with bromine in light forms a mixture of 2 monobromoalkanes and HBr. The hydrocarbon X is. So it is forming the 2 monobromoalkanes, means the compound must have the 2 different type of the hydrogens. Then only it is able to form the 2 monobromoalkanes. Let us try to see each and every molecule. Option A, that is C2H6 means CH3CH3. Only one compound is possible. Why? Because both are same carbon hydrogens. And B, this is CH double bond CH single bond CH3. This is C2H6 alkane. So 1, 2, 3. 3 different type of carbons are there. So that you will get the 3 different type of products. Moreover, actually this hydrogens will not be replaced because they are more strong. So only this carbon will be released, so that you can expect only one product here also. And C, C3H8. So here you will get the CH3, CH2, CH3. So this is primary, this is primary, this is secondary. 2 different type are there. So option C is correct. Even if you see the C4H10, CH3, CH2, CH2 and CH3. So you may question that, sir, this is primary, primary, secondary, secondary. Here also 2 are there. But the moment when you replace one of these hydrogen, you will get the enantiomers. So that one and totally 3 products will get. 1 from primary carbon and 2 from the secondary carbon, enantiomers. So that is the reason here you will get the 3 products. So option C is correct for the 46th question. Dear students, hope you understood. Do not forget to subscribe our channel, that is Triangle. I'll write properly. Even including classroom point also, as this is a private channel which I am going to give you only the content, and hope you understood. If any doubt is there, do not forget to send me the WhatsApp message. Thank you one and all.